Hello, welcome to our Open Access Regulatory Intelligence session today. Thank you for being here. Our presenter, Iman, is highly experienced in scientific and regulatory affairs within the medical device and IVD industry. A few housekeeping items to consider. Please remain muted with your camera off. Arazy Group members will be the only ones able to ask questions. If you have any questions, please note them down and you will receive an email after the meeting to fill out a form. We will be recording the meeting, but unfortunately, we will not be able to distribute the recording. Thank you very much and enjoy the session.
Hello, welcome everyone. This is our regulatory update meeting for May 2024, and we will be presenting several updates on this country. Brazil, Canada, Brazil, Ghana, India, KSA, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and South Korea. So first of all, we start with Brazil, and as we know, recently several important updates have been published regarding the IVD especially, and here we are going to review all this news in detail. So first of all, we'll do a revision of the new resolution RDC 830. Then we will discuss some additional releases related to this resolution that were recently published. And finally, we will see a very interesting news also regarding to Brazil is the recognition of selected overseas approval. So first of all, as we said, we will discuss the new resolution RDC 830. We know that this resolution was published on December 2023 by Anvisa, and it is a comprehensive guide addressing critical aspects related to risk classification, notification, and registration processes related to IVD, and also include the labeling requirement. So this resolution is scheduled to take effect in a week or a few days on June 1st, 2024. So here, after a thorough analysis of this resolution, we'll present you the most relevant points that stakeholders should be aware of. So first of all, the resolution incorporates, for the first time, a clear definition of software as medical device. This is very important for regulation to be clearly stated. So it is now aligning with international standard regarding to software as medical devices. Secondly, it is officially stated that IVD of class 1 and 2 are now subject to notification, so replacing the previous cadastral requirement. And IVD of class 3 and 4 are now subject to registration, ensuring enhanced oversight of higher risk devices. The third point is regarding the classification rules. So in this, and this is the most important point of this resolution. So what we should bear in mind that the manufacturer are now responsible to review their devices under the new classification rules that are detailed in the resolution in Annex 1, and that are superseding any outdated classification from the previous regulation. So this is the most important update in this resolution. Then we have also the updates of the requirements for a notification, registration, amendment of notification or registration, and renewal of registration of IVD. So it might be the same, might be slight differences in the required document, but I recommend to review all these processes as I detailed here. So for the notification, required document for notification, can find them listed on Article 13, or registration on Article 14, amendment of the notification of or registration Article 15, and for renewal on Article 27. So, yeah, another interesting point. So, as we know, these new rules that come here up on the Annex 1, they bring like a slight some devices will be reclassified, and so for the ones that will see their devices going from the notification to a registration, since they are moving from class 1, class 2 to class 3, 4. So here we have a period of 365 days since counted from the entry into force of this resolution. It means from the June 1st, 2024, it is established for holder of notification of IVD to fill petition for reclassification. So this is a transition period, and the petition must be accompanied by the same documentation required for a new product registration and a valid GMP certificate. However, for this GMP certificate, if it is not yet ready, the filling of the request for certification of GMP will be accepted, but only for the purpose of petitioning. Only for the request of reclassification, as well as the beginning of the analysis in the petition for reclassification. However, the final approval of request for reclassification is subject to the publication of a valid GMP certificate. So can apply for reclassification even if you don't have a GMP certificate ready, but it should be submitted for approval. And it's worth noting that failure to comply with this will lead to the cancellation of the registration. So it's very important to reclassify your devices, to do this application if it is applicable, if your devices would be reclassified after reviewing the rules, the new rules. So there is also the case of the down classification, and this means if when the devices go from a registration to a notification, so to a down classification. In this case, due to this new classification rule, this only need a petition for rectification by ANVISA. Only petition for reclassification, and no need to present documentation like a new notification or a GMP certificate. So this is just like a kind of communication with the authority. Yeah. Another important point that I found interesting in this resolution is that there are new devices that are now recognized or classified as an IVD officially. So the regulation of IVD apply to them, like control devices without quantitative or qualitative values attributed, and products for extraction of deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, and ribonucleic acid, RNA. So important to know. And the following IVD are exempt from notification or registration. So there we have IVD intended for clinical investigation in compliance with the legal provision for carrying out this activity, and the commercialization and use for other purposes are prohibited, as it's always the case for devices meant for clinical investigation. And presentation, this is an important point. So the presentation consistent of 2 or more notified or registered medical devices. So is this is it a presentation that comprises several devices that are already, some of them notified or other ones registered? So in this case, they are individually notified or registered, and it's mentioned in their package. so contained in the labeling of this packaging. So in this case, it's show clearly the number of the notification or registration, so no need for notification or registration of the whole presentation. Okay, so we are coming to the second point. It is still related to this resolution. And this is Anvisa released these 3 additional guidance documents, but recently, as we said, the RDC 830 was published on December 2023, but these 3 documents giving more explanation related to this resolution were published recently on the end of March 2024. So it is giving more information and clarification regarding this resolution for IVD in Brazil. The first document is a Q&A guide that is worthy of consultation. It is clarify and confirm several important points of the resolution. Now, for the second document, should be consulted in order to check which devices have been classified. And the third document provide the list of technical names that are associated with more than one class risk. So yeah, I think there are clear lists, clear document, and just wanted to share them with you so you can consult them. And the last update regarding Brazil today is normative instruction number 290 that was released on beginning of April 2024. So a new optimized pathway. This is a new pathway that was published but only for class 3 and 4. It aims to recognize selected overseas approval. But we have to remember that this is just for class 3 and 4 medical devices. And this is specifically for devices that have been authorized by at least one of the following equivalent foreign regulatory authority: Australia, Canada, US, and Japan. And there are the requests for the registration of medical device through this pathway, which is called like a optimized pathway, must be accompanied by the following document: a declaration available in the annex of this normative 290. So there is an annex that should be completed and presented with the electronic signature for those legally and technically responsible. There's a document providing registration or authorization issued by one of this authority, but it should be consularized or apostilled and accompanied with the sworn translation when not written in Portuguese, English, or Spanish. And finally, instruction for use of the medical device adopted and enforced in this country, accompanied by a sworn translation when it is not written in Portuguese, English, or Spanish. But it is important to note that Anvisa open analysis of this instructional documentation issued by this foreign authority, they can choose to use the ordinary analysis procedure for documents submitted. So this is what they added as a note, like this is a new pathway, but it does not mean that in all cases that will be considered like that. It can need to be analyzed like full to be completed by a full analysis as the classic pathway. Okay, so this was all for Brazil today. Hope it was very informative since it was a thorough analysis of the resolution. Hope I didn't miss any important points. And now we're gonna switch to Ghana. it is also very important news since it is related to fees. Everybody wants to know the new fees and need to know the updated fees. So just this is to inform you that the FDA Ghana has updated the applicable fees as set in the following table for registration, renewal, and also for amendment of medical devices and in vitro, IVD. These changes are effective since they started to be effective since 18th of March 2024. So a couple of months. So here you have the table. You can see the new fees by category, by class, and by category, medical device, IVD, by procedure. And so that was for Ghana. Going to India, we have 2 points to discuss today: medical device registration process and PSUR, periodic safety update report. So the first point regarding medical device registration process, what we have here is that the Central Drug Standard Control Organization, CDSCO, published a new circular giving more clarity on the registration process for medical devices dealing with accessory, component, and spare part. So here is a summary. Also, we did a thorough analysis of this circular, and we summarize the most relevant information that was reported in this notice. So for multiple brands of the same device, the device applied for a grant of manufacturing or import license, a separate fee must be submitted for each brand applied. And standalone software is regulated under the medical device rules and require registration or license. This is clearly stated now. There is no exemption on the labeling requirement for software as medical device and standalone software. So there is no exception of the labeling. And if a messenger is intended for soothing or general wellness purposes and not for a therapeutic purpose, then it does not come under the regulation of medical device. And if it is intended for therapeutic purposes, in this case, or alleviation of a disease or disorder, it is regulated under the provision of the medical devices rule. It's logic, but it is sometimes important to state it clearly in the regulation. And disinfectants, which are intended for the disinfection of medical devices, are regulated under the medical devices rules in India. And for substantial equivalence, to demonstrate substantial equivalence with respect to a predicate device, it is required to submit a comparative statement document, a document between the applied product and the predicate device with respect to the name and address of the manufacturer, intended use, risk class, material of construction, all these points, applicable standards, design characteristics, energy used or delivered, manufacturing and testing process, biocompatibility, performance, safety, effectiveness, and other characteristics as applicable. And the periodic safety update report shall be submitted to the Central Licensing Authority every 6 months for the first 2 years after the registration, followed by submission annually. So every 6 months, the first 2 years after the registration, it will be every 6 months, followed by submission annually for the next 2 successive years. And related to this periodic safety update report, the CDSCO also issued a new circular on March 2024 that specified that from April 1st, past last April 1st, 2024, the option to submit SUR offline will no longer be available. So submission must now be made through this portal. It is now online, as we said, every 6 months in the first 2 years and annually, and after that, annually. Okay, next country will be Saudi Arabia or KSA. Here we are going to review some information regarding IVD for in-house use and surgical shutter. So the Saudi Food and Drug Authority, SFDA, has issued this guidance, G022, on the development of, this is the first version, a new version, guidance of the development of in vitro diagnostic for in-house use. On March 2024, the primary objective of this guidance is to provide support in creating design, performance data, and necessary document for the development and post-market surveillance of this in-house IVD. So this is very important for manufacturer. The documentation outlined in this guidance must be available and can be requested because it can be requested by the SFDA for submission. Key points discussed in this guidance include general requirements for an in-house IVD as essential principle checklist, QMS requirements, design and development consideration. So this is very important to take into consideration, of course, in addition to the general requirement, but for this case, it is worthy to consult this guidance and make sure that your device aligned with this requirement. Labeling, specification, packaging, transportation requirement, a post-market surveillance protocol. These guidelines are essential for ensuring this quality, safety, and efficacy for in-house IVD in Saudi Arabia. Okay, so this is for the first guidance. The second guidance, it is also a first version number 1, a new guidance for surgical shutter. That was also published at the same time on March 2024. And it is designed to aid manufacturer and authorized representative of surgical shutter, both with and without needles, in complying with SFDA regulation. The guidance is specifically applicable to shutter used for general soft tissue approximation and wound closure support. It outlines key information and guidance related to surgical suture, including definition of composition, material, suture-related specification, and their testing method is very important, and acceptance criteria, needle-related specification, their testing method and acceptance criteria, consideration for biocompatibility evolution, a lot of details, shelf life requirements, sterilization protocol, and labeling requirement. Every single detail that could be related to these specific devices. That was for Saudi Arabia. Now, coming to Malaysia, we are going to present some details regarding the establishment license. This is also interesting for the manufacturer, but also for the authorized representative, importers and distributors. So because here, what is stated that every establishment, local manufacturer in this case, authorized representative, importer or distributor dealing with medical devices in Malaysia must apply for an establishment license with the medical device authority. Okay, so in this latest announcement published on March 2024, they stated their commitment to enhancing and expediting the process. Good. So they aim to complete the establishment license application process within 14 to 21 working days from the receipt of their application. That's a nice action. Additionally, the MDA has updated the list of required documents for this application process that should be consulted. So it is required to present updated letter of authorization with accurate address information and in the prescribed format. As indicated in the this announcement, confirmation, an updated list of the medical device attached to the application, confirmation that the person responsible is listed as a director, an appointment letter for the person responsible signed by director listed, and here we have like this called form 49 and appointed by the company's top management, an updated quality management system report along with a valid certificate, and a QMS report prepared by a registered conformity assessment body. So this is for the establishment license. Here you have the updated requirement and informing also that there is a reduction of the timeline for application. In Philippines, we are going to review information regarding Class B, C, D, non-registrable medical devices. So here in Philippines, Class B, C, and D medical devices that are not included in the list of registrable medical devices, as per the circular number 2020, if you remember, 001, were originally set to become registrable starting April of this year, 1st of April. However, to ensure that the availability of medical devices is not affected, regulatory flexibility was extended throughout a circular issued on March 2024. The circular stated that all Class B, C, D non-registrable medical devices could be manufactured, imported, exported, distributed, transferred, sold, or offered for sale without a certificate of medical device notification, known as CMDN, or could apply for a CMDN until September 30, 2024. So it was extended. And the application for CMDN would cease starting October, the next day, October 1st, 2024. And it is mandatory to apply for a CMDR starting October 1st. An establishment might choose to apply for CMDR instead of CMDN for their product before October. So we are just confirming each point. So, and from October 1st, devices without CMDN or CMDR or without a pending application shall be prohibited. So, conclusion: for these devices, they will become it will become necessary to register them starting October 1st. If they are not registered, they would be prohibited. The registration they will be prohibited for sale, and until the 30th of September. It is not required. Like they can still be sold or imported without even if they are not registered either under CMDN or CMDR. And at the same time, it is voluntary. You can start your registration before. It is not mandatory to wait until the 1st of October. You can start and do it like a CMDR. So that's what is explained in a different way in this circular. Okay, so for Singapore, this is like a reminder for unique device identification, UDI. So as I said, this is a reminder that today phase 2 compliance dates approaching for all class D medical device, including IVD, and will be on November 2024, as you can see here. Compliance dates approaching for all class C will be on November 2026. We'll make a more reminder later when dates are approaching, and for the all class B medical devices 2028. So for now, let's just focus on all class D medical devices, November 2026. As you can see here, and we know that for class A, it is not mandatory. The UDI not mandatory, and yeah, this was just a reminder. And let's go to South Korea. In South Korea, this is also very important update that I would like to share with you regarding the KGMP on-site audit. So in December, the South Korean Ministry of Health issued an important notice regarding the integration of the medical device single audit program in this app with their local Korean good manufacturing practice. This notice introduced a significant change, allowing applicants with a valid MDSAP certificate to leverage it to exempt the on-site audit during the initial audit phase. This move was aimed at streamlining the regulatory process, especially for companies already certified under the MDSAP, by reducing this redundant audit and still have to present like a document audit, but exempted from the on-site audit if you have the MDSAP. However, the notice clarified that the expiration date of the KGMP certificate will be the same as that of the MDSAP certificate used for document audit. This is important to note. And that was all for today. A lot of updates, lots of important updates. Hope you learned a lot. And here is a summary. So we talked about we reviewed the new resolution. We summarized all the important information included in new resolution for IVD in Brazil, the RDC 830. Also, we mentioned these additional releases that regarding to this resolution that were published recently on March 2024 to add more clarification regarding this resolution. Also, the recognition of selected overseas approval in Brazil, new fees update in Ghana, the medical device registration process in India. We summarize also several important information, the SUR and the new method of application, and the only accepted method of submission of the SUR, which we said should be online and not anymore by a hard documentation. In Saudi Arabia, we listed or we mentioned 2 new releases guidance. The first version, new guidance that should be taken into consideration together with the general regulation for IVD for in-house use and surgical suture. In Malaysia, we reviewed important information for manufacturer and authorized representative importer regarding the establishment license, the reduction in time for submission or for review of the application, and an updated list of requirements. Also, in Philippines, we reviewed the class B, C, D, non-reachable medical devices, the new timeline. that was published, and in Singapore it was a reminder of the UDI, and finally in South Korea the key GMP onset audit leverage in case of MD-SAP certification. Okay, that was all for today. Thank you for your presence, and please, if you have any question, I think we have time. Okay, Gabriela. Okay, Gabi, please.
Hi, Iman. Thank you. That was very educational. I have a question about the PSR in India. So if I understood correctly, from now on, there's a period in which we have to submit every 6 months. Okay. Is that applicable for licenses obtained from now on, or also for licenses that were obtained with the previous process?
Sorry, I
Sorry
can't
about
hear
my
you.
voice.
Your voice is breaking up. Which one? Which one exactly? Which point are you asking for?
Sorry. Yeah, I have a heavy
Yeah,
cold.
I can see.
It's about the last requirement.
Ah,
Does that apply only to new registrations obtained from now on, or also for licenses that could have been obtained before?
you mean regarding the PSUR,
Uh-huh.
periodic safety?
Yes.
It is applicable for all the registered devices and the new ones. All
Okay.
should,
All right.
yeah,
Okay. Great. Thank you.
you're welcome. Let me see, Rahel. Okay, please, Rahel.
Hi, Iman. Thank you for the update. I have a question which is related to Brazil. I'm not sure if I understand it well. How a device could have two risk classes?
Okay, think. Yeah, it should be here. Yeah, so to explain that well, let me access to this. It's this one, yeah, will more than one risk. What's happened is that in Brazil, the device is associated with a technical name. So sometimes it's could find that your device is associated for a technical with a technical name, true technical name, but each technical with the same technical name, but sorry, you can find that your device is associated with a technical name that is associated with two class rips. How does it come? So uh, let me just show you the document. I'm not sure if you can see my screen now.
We still see the slides.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm. So it's okay. I will try to share this with you. Sorry. Mm.
Iman, maybe you have to stop presenting and share again all your screen. There you go.
I think it's. I think now it's working. No.
Yes, we can see it now.
Yes, you can see.
Okay. So yeah, as you can see here, you have two technical name. Okay, hydroxy progesterone or hydroxyprogesterone. and you have two class. So for this one, it would be notification, this one research. So here, this documents or this table specify these things that will for this no general technical name. You have to go inside because it include another sub specification, like triazem neonatal, like the same here, amino acid. So you can say maybe for your device, it's an amino acid or it's contained that. So you have to go inside this document to be sure that it is not just, okay, it's amino acid, but if it has this specification, it is another class. So another regime, not regime, another process will apply. Okay, this is what happened with these two classification. And now let me just share again with you. Okay, so the same thing. It is, as I said, this is important. Documents. For the other ones, I don't want to open it, and it's gonna take more time, but this one is very important since it is, if you need me to open it, I can do. So just state that the new list the new devices with their the new classification for some devices, and very instructive document. Yeah. I think I'm not sure if was it clear for you, Rahel?
Yes, yes, clear. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes, any other question? Yeah, I can see here. Idan, please.
Yes, hi, man. Thank you for the presentation.
You're
I want to ask
welcome.
about South Korea. Regarding the on-site audit, will it also be waived for KGMP renewal for manufacturer that hold the MD-SAF certificate?
Yeah, in South Korea, I'm afraid not. It's the on-site audits. It is waived. It is not waived for renewal. I mean, if this is just for new application. So if you have already registered your device and now you have to renew, but you have NDC news NDC certificate, or you are interested to include it in order to have your on-site audit waived. It is not the case. This is just for new application.
Right.
And even the one who apply with MDSAP, if they need to renew, they would have the on-site audit. So this is just a special offer for new applicants that have MDSAP.
Understood. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, so for the other participant, you can write your any question by message if you want. Otherwise, you can send me an email with any question related to this presentation. So give you a couple of minutes. If you have any question that I can answer today, we'll be pleased to do so. So yeah, you cannot maybe speak, but you can write down your question in the chat box. And yes, I just want to mention that we are not going to share the recording, but if you are interested, we can share the slides with you. No problem with that. And just and you will do it after this presentation. So be sure that you will have all this summarized information. And okay, if it's all for today, no more question. I would like to thank you for your presence, all of you, Arazy member and our guests, and hope to see you again in the next month for more news and more country update. Thank you so much, and have a good week.
Thank you all
Thank
for
you.
coming. Please
Bye.
remember that you have
Thank you,
any
Iman.
questions, you can ask in the follow-up email you will receive. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.